Hello kiddies. Today's words are change and self. They are interchangeable with each other. Change self, self change. Now, if we was in the seniors, what we could do, we could take the words apart, the CHANGE, the SELF, and mix them all around and see what other words we could find out. Hey, wouldn't that be fun, eh? Really, wouldn't it? Just think what we've got to look forward to. When I was a child, when I was under 10 years old, I must have forgotten about it after that. I used to look forward to the 21st century. The pictorial picture I had in my mind was always of monorails. Interesting for myself. I just realised. Something or other. Change. It seems the humans, they don't like things the way they are, though they do not want to change. And they want to change everything other than themselves. Slogan from the earlier manifestation of myself. It begins and ends with the self. Actually, realising it came from a project I was involved. I participated in. I wasn't really involved in it beyond participating in it. Called Everything for Everyone. A squatted social centre, they called it, though it was also a protest at a theatre venue that was being demolished, that the locals wanted to save, and they called in Renter Rebel to assist them. There was agendas at work as usual, and I would not participate. It was very interesting, and I met some great people, and I had fun. Only, as I would not comply with the agenda as usual, well, I ended up living in a shack as a consequence. It was fake. It was British, although there was people from all over the world there. It was fake. Is that a fish? Fake. It was fake. Saying one thing, doing another. And there were many telling moments that revealed aspects of it that, for all intents and purposes, could not have been there if it had been what it was saying it was. Tried to get me to do a route of protest, chain myself to a concreted post that they concreted in to prevent the reoccupation of the site by the owners of the site prior to demolishing it so they could build so they can build some high-rised occupational dwellings. I went to a presentation. The local authority had the local library whilst participating in the project. I took one look at it and said, I'll have the top 6 floors. I couldn't have afforded even 1 floor, never mind the top 6, and I didn't let on to the people at the project, and the people from the local authority were astounded to hear me say it. The views of London City from it, wow. Though the area that it was in, the last thing they needed was 3 tower blocks of dwellings. The streets were already overcrowded. Any day of the week, you've never seen anything like it. Oh yeah, you have them Japanese tube trains during rush hour. So I don't know what it'll be completed now, but it's a great place, that Hackney. It's a bad reputation, but one wonderful place to reside in. For one reason alone, everybody was someone, and therefore the fact that everybody was someone to themselves created a level playing field, equality. The fact that everybody was delusionally believing themselves to be something other than nothing, it just added a bit of high tension to the, not suggesting it was a good example or a positive example. It was interesting, it was a good place. I quite wonder what it's like now. The last thing that's what I said to me, the last thing they need around here is more people living here. Didn't stop them. Change. Great song. I might put that in the description box, the link for the song Change by Killing Joke, Jazz Coleman, Youth Martin, Geordie, and somebody Ferguson on drums. Was he the original drummer? Sorry, I can't remember your first name. Saw them at a live gig once in the 80s. The band I were working for supported them. Bought a bootleg 7-inch single from there that had different versions of tracks. Anthony, you're reminiscing. You know that reminiscing's not a good thing. Deal with it, boy. The past. Yeah, the past. Best forgotten. Though there are many things that can be utilised, mainly mistakes. I watched little bits of that Zeitgeist movie. Change, people. Work. It's over with. Machines can build houses in a day without any waste. Already. You already don't need to burn oil. We've known that for 100 years. For energy. Cars can run on water, you know. They have had that technology for, I don't know how long, but I've known about it for. I've known about it for 5 years, 7 years, approximately, roughly. I mean, what have they got on the shelves anyway already with the computers? You've got them iPads. What have they got on the shelves that they're not letting us have because they need to sell us the research and development they've been doing in the meantime, because that's the way it works. I had nothing to say except change, and change starts with self. Without changing ourselves, we won't change anything else. You can put up new houses, new transport, new power generation. If we don't change ourselves, we will continue to destroy our environment by ourselves. It begins and ends with the self. I got that through the ether one night whilst someone was asking for something. I offered to sell it them for £10 pounds. They didn't buy any. If they'd had heroin, they would have bought that. Well, I didn't have any. I wouldn't sell them any if I had any. But I would have sold them that. So it begins and ends with the self. I'd end them onto the end of it. And in between we push and pull ourselves to our limits, because people were pushing and pulling me for their own enjoyment, for their own distractory entertainment, avoidance of themselves. I don't need anyone to push and pull me, I said. I push and pull myself, knowing that I had pushed myself to the edge and back again several times, and knowing that I walked the rim of the abyss, for want of a better term, and able to do so because my brother threw himself over, as did many people I know. And then that's the past again, Anthony. We are dealing with now, as now creates the future, and the future is now. A couple of things I realised on waking this morning: conceit, smug. Coming across these smug people recently. We've got nothing to be smug about. I call them the smugs. They're not as usual, and I couldn't see it then, and I can't really see it now, though I do realise that I've been being smug and conceited. I'm going to deal with it, possibly with writing, on top of learning what the word context means in the context of choice. Choice, free will, is another matter that, as far as I'm concerned, has not yet been fully expounded, whilst I am not backtracking on there is no choice in what's best for all, because what's best for all, there is no choice in what's best for all. It is what's best for all. It might be an abdication, might be anyway, free will. There's I already mentioned it on another video, didn't I? I'm just going to paint the picture. I've got a picture. I need to get some white pencils to paint it though. The black things on the wall are the parchments that it's going to be illustrated upon. I'm running out of time. I don't want to argue with the machines. I don't want to argue with myself. I don't want to argue with anyone. Arguing doesn't solve anything. It's opinion based. There is only all life, existence, and all life must be considered. And dignity comes from the word meaning worthy. Are we worthy? Are you worthy am I. There's nothing stopping us except our selves change.